Assalamu alaikum, dear brother, and thank you for placing your trust in our ability to propose a solution to your current situation. I can understand the frustration and annoyance you must be undergoing as a result of your condition, especially given that you are a professional student pursuing law. Let me start out by telling you that there's nothing that is too hard for Allah to do or accomplish. You asked me in your question that you feel like you will never be able to overcome the situation. If you think this way, this will be happening. Hence, you should think positively and expect and hope for the best. If Allah can save Yunus salam from the stomach of a whale where he had no chance of going back, Ibrahim salam from fire, and Ismail salam from being slaughtered, then why do you doubt his ability to do everything? OCD since the beginning of time, or since the beginning of its discovery, has been labeled as an illness that uh, it has been known as the illness of doubt. For example, patients who have OCD are either preoccupied with cleaning, arranging, or rechecking, and this is because they're either doubtful that there are too many germs, too much disorganization, or they have missed something important for whatever purpose, and things need to be checked, and rechecked. OCD patients, I'm sure, like yourself, are always doubting. And this is mainly because because you are trying to seek perfection, and since perfection can never be attained, you doubt everything. This, in my opinion, is where faith comes in. As human beings, we are bound to make mistakes, and we are also supposed to be learning from them. We're also control hogs. However, people who are not suffering from OCD are aware that there's only so much they can control and not everything can be controlled by them. However, because people who have OCD are always doubting and want to seek perfection, they fail to realize that they can't control absolutely everything. The only way to overcome OCD is through a change in your thoughts. Thoughts that doubt, thoughts that bring about uncertainty, and thoughts that disturb the peace of mind. So the first thing you need to do for that is to learn to trust Allah. Tawakkul is a medication for anxiety. The antidote of doubting, I'm sure you know, is trusting. You need to learn to trust and be certain. You need to place your trust in Allah after you have done your share of the job. For example, if you are compulsive about cleaning, you should clean to the best of your ability and use all the cleaners you can. But you can only clean so much. I mean, you can't eliminate the germs and make sure there's nothing and it's just pure vacuum. It's not possible. However, after you have done the best to your ability, you need to trust Allah that He will keep you safe from germs which you are not able to clean, and will keep you healthy and not get you sick. Trust in Allah is what helps all the time. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran in Surah Al-Talaq that and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will provide for him from where he does not expect, and whoever relies upon Allah, then he is sufficient for him. Indeed, Allah will accomplish his purpose. Allah has already set for everything a decreed extent. If you think about this verse for a minute, you can see that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has not only ordered us, His slaves, to place our trust in Him, but He has also He has also said that He Himself will accomplish that which He thinks is in our best interest. He is the ultimate controller, dear brother, of everything. So you need to trust and control your thoughts. Although I know that when feeling extremely anxious, it is certainly difficult to recall everything at once, the most important message to retain is that Allah is in control and that He is sufficient for me. So when you're feeling these anxious thoughts, OCD type thoughts are coming and disturbing you and distracting you from education or studying or doing your work, think that Allah is in control, relax, deep breathe, and just learn to trust Allah. Even research itself proves that medication is not sufficient to overcome OCD. Medicine is simply the external application to help relieve some of the distress caused by OCD. The real way to reduce and eliminate its negative consequences is to change your own mindset and learn to overcome doubting everything. Doubts are distractions and they are the whispers of the devil. I'm not sure if you have heard this before, but no amount of guilt changes the past and no amount of worrying can change the future. As humans, we are all very anxious about the future. However, we need to learn that it is not in our control. When shaitan realizes that an individual is overly worried about the past such that it affects their present, or overly worried about the future that their present is not going right, shaitan tries even harder to create anxiety and distract the individual from their true paths by giving such thoughts as compulsivity, depression, anxiety, guilt, etc. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran that those who have believed and whose hearts are assured by the remembrance of Allah. Unquestionably, by remembrance of Allah, the hearts are assured. It said that in Surah so did the world. Therefore, try to change the course of your thoughts. You can read the 99 of Allah, the definition, learn about Allah, just change your mindset, and when you have these thoughts, distract your own mind. You need to realize that there's blessing in pain. When you realize that your symptoms of OCD are starting, try to divert yourself by doing something that brings about happiness and inner joy in you. It is often true that when the times are the hardest, the work is the most productive, or there's more effort, or there's more passion towards doing something you completely enjoy. Not only will this activity distract you from focusing on your inner negative thoughts, it'll even help you feel good. You need to ensure that the activity you are doing is something which you truly like to do. It does not have to be productive. It does not have to be school related. It does not have to be job related. You can relax once in a while and just let your feelings flow. Just be passionate about art, reading, drawing, anything you want. Contrary to popular belief, you do not need to constantly indulge in studying to achieve great heights. If you see people such as people who are great doctors, great surgeons, or even great lawyers, you will see that there's something totally different that they are completely passionate about and they devote their time. You will see that they're either they really enjoy running, they really enjoy jogging, they enjoy art, they enjoy writing. So it's something completely different that they do to relax, something they're passionate about, and something that makes them feel good and they enjoy. Um, I encourage you to find something which you are passionate about and strengthen your relationship with that activity. And if you like to read, I suggest you read the book called Don't Be Sad. It's a book by Dr. Idle Carney, and it's a great book, and that it shines lights on the most basic human feelings of sadness, desperation, hopelessness, and failure. If you have time, I advise you to read it. Here's an excerpt from the book that I really like. It's found on page 80, and it says that the student who lives the life of a comfort and repose and who is not stung by hardships or who has never been afflicted with calamity will be an unproductive, lazy, and lethargic person. And he's giving an example of a poet who writes but who has not faced any hardships in life. His poetry will not touch your heart, as opposed to a poet who has gone through hardships and he's writing with emotion. Emotion really plays through, and hence this is why I'm asking you that when you're distracted, disturbed by your negative feelings and health reaction towards OCD, do something you like, and that'll really make your OCD thoughts and feelings go away and make you enjoy the activity you're currently doing. Last but not least, I will suggest that you become your own therapist, because every time your thoughts come, you can't really visit a therapist, obviously. So you need to realize your feelings of anxiety can be changed and tamed by you yourself. So, for example, when you start feeling anxiety, what I suggest you do is walk through them rather than avoiding them or acting upon them. For example, if you fear that there are too many germs and that you might contract the disease given the number of germs, then you need to rationalize your thoughts and see what it is that your negative thoughts are missing. So, the first step I would like you to do is write it down. Write your thought down. Whatever it is that you're compulsive about or feel anxious about or feel desperate about, write it down. Don't act upon it. Don't start hyperventilating. Don't doubt. Don't start doubting. Just relax and write down the thought. The next step I would like you to do is write down the points that can be used to rationalize your negative thoughts. So if you're thinking that I have cleaned my tables to the best of my ability, but I'm sure there's like a billion other germs, just rationalize it. Think, why would it matter? Germs are everywhere. I can't do everything. I'm not in complete control. I trust Allah. Okay, and then write down the consequence of acting on your negative thought. So for example, if I think too much about cleaning, then I'm going to distract myself a lot. I won't be able to go through this chapter or learn this unit, and this is the unit I need to become what I want to become, to pursue what I want to pursue, and hence this thought is really becoming a hindrance in my professional life. And lastly, write down what you should be doing, breathe deeply, and do what you should be doing. So instead of focusing on cleaning or how dirty the desk is or whatever, think about you need to learn, you need to do your lessons, you need to study, etc., etc. Dear brother, when you realize that it is not the negative thought who is in control, but you who is in control, it'll become much easier to act on what is right. Oftentimes, people think that it is their thoughts that are controlling them. It is not their thoughts. You are the one who are controlling your thoughts. You need to get that straight. And lastly, relaxation meditation is definitely not a sin. If anything, it helps you clear out your mind of negativity and just think about nothing or think positively. I hope my answer provided the guidance you were looking for. Thank you.